Hi there, this is Yana Smakula here at Spellbinders, and thank you for joining me today. In this video, I'll show you how to create an elegant layered holiday card using several dies from Spellbinders. I'll be working with Stacy Karen Holiday Christmas Dow Frame, peppermint stick dies, as well as several circle dies to create my card. I'm going to begin by die cutting the Christmas Dow frame out of gold foil cardstock. This is a very large die and you want to use it on a card that is even bigger than 5 by 7 inches. I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cutting and embossing machine. This is a smaller machine. And I already have my base platform. This one is magnetic. My bottom clear cutting plate, a sheet of gold paper, my die facing cutting edge down, and I'm going to cover this with another clear cutting plate on top. Go ahead and send through the machine to cut. I'm also going to emboss this piece. And to emboss, I'm using my base platform. I'm placing my die with the die cut still inside, facing cutting edge up. I'm covering that with a tan embossing mat and a blue embossing plate and going to send through the machine to emboss. I'm going to use my tool-in-one to pop the die cut out of the die, and look how beautiful this is. And you can cut it out of other kinds of paper too, not just gold foil, but it certainly looks stunning when cut out of gold. Other than the frame, this die also cuts a beautiful label. Be sure to save it as we'll need it to complete this project. I also have a piece of this stunning pattern paper, and I'm going to cut it using the same die, but I'll center the die just so that I'm cutting that central label part out. So I'm going to cut it and also to emboss it to give it additional dimension. And it fits inside the gold die cut beautifully. There are a few more pieces we need to die cut for this card, and here I'm using pierced circle dies and cutting a circle out of same gold foil paper. I'm using 2 dies here to cut. One is cutting the circle out, and the other die is adding the pierced detail. And I'm only going to use 1 die to emboss, just the inner die. You can emboss with both dies, but I like it better when I only have the inner die when I'm embossing with this particular die. I've already created a card base for this project, and it measures 8 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, a very large card base. I don't usually make cards that are this big, but for this die, you want to make sure you have a larger card base, or you can use it as a picture frame for the holidays, for example. I've also already pre-cut 2 panels out of pattern paper and gold foil paper, and I adhered those together and added some zigzag stitching using my sewing machine. I'm going to foam mount this panel onto my card base, and I'm using black foam adhesive here because the base of my card is dark brown, and if I used white foam squares, they would be more visible, so this is why I'm using black here. I need to alter my gold die cut slightly to fit my card, so I'm going to use my scissors and just cut the poinsettias off. The cut lines will be covered with another die cut, so don't worry that it doesn't look neat at the moment. To cover the cut line, I'm going to use the inner label part, the one that I cut when I die cut this frame out. It is a little bit too big, a little too tall, so I'm going to use my scissors, cut it apart, and we'll overlap the pieces to make sure they fit. I'm using some more black foam adhesive to foam mount the gold frame and also to foam mount the patterned paper die cut inside of it. Next, I'm going to align the gold half die cut to make sure it covers the cut line. Add some double-sided tape and adhere the second half gold die cut to make sure it now fits on the card. Once that is done, I'm going to foam mount it on top of my project. I'm also going to add a gold circle die cut, and I've also created another circle element here where I heat embossed a sentiment and added a beautiful holiday cluster. I have some berries here and some holly leaves, and those were cut out of brown and gold cardstock using dies from both Holiday Dove frame die set and also peppermint stick die. So here's a closer look at this card created using Stacy Karen Holiday Christmas Dove frame die. If you're looking for a list of supplies I used to create this card, you can find it in the video description below. On the screen, you're seeing a couple additional videos created using Spellbinders dies, and those are featuring holiday cards. Be sure to check them out for additional inspiration. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!